Some of leadership is taking a younger guy under your wing, and you have taken Brendan Gallagher into your place both in Kelowna, right, during the summertime, and now in Montreal as he prepares for the Hamilton Bulldogs camp. Talk a little bit about that, about knowing that you can be an influence on a young guy, and a guy like Gallagher, who is so full of energy and is really a good prospect in this organization. How did that come about? How did your relationship come about that you would take him in out west and here?
You know, it started a couple years ago when he was first came to his first NHL camp. There's always that common connection when we both played in the Western League, and so we sat down and talked in the dressing room. We were on the same team through training camp, and I got to know him, and I really just liked him as a person. He was so upbeat about everything. No matter what happened, he was always smiling. I mean, he could have had a brutal game and he's smiling, not because he doesn't care, but because he's just got that great positive attitude about life, about hockey. And getting to know him over the 2 years in training camp, I love the way this guy plays. He's a small guy. He's just like a Brian Giunta. Small in stature, big heart. This kid go to the front of the net with anybody, stand there, hack and whack. He plays the hard game. He's willing to do the hard things in order to be successful. And I saw how close he was to making our team last year, and I thought, you know what an opportunity to get to know him first of all, but at the same time, you know, maybe I can help if he had any questions, or not even questions, it's comfort too. I know when I was 19, 20 years old, I was fortunate enough to have Scott Hannon, who played in San Jose, who used to play for the Kelowna Rockets as well. So I had known him from before, and he had taken me in, and a guy that I could go and ask questions to if I wasn't sure of things. You know, I could just follow in his footsteps, knowing that what he has done got him to the NHL and solidified his spot in the NHL. I thought, well, if I could do those same things and I could follow in his footsteps, you know, I could be in the same position he is. And so that was all I wanted to try to offer to Brendan is, you know, you can come with me and you watch how I do things and how I act. And not to say that I'm perfect. There's a lot of things that he should probably do different than I do, but like I said, it's an opportunity for a young guy to feel comfortable. He comes here, gets to meet all the guys that are here and train with us and see what it's like to train and act and be around NHL players full time.
You've had this kid behind closed doors. Is he ever not smiling? We've never seen him without a smile on his face.
No, and I mean he's just an unbelievable kid. You know, he's at home with me and my girlfriend, and even ask him what he wants for dinner. And whatever, you know, and whatever you want. And do you like this? Sure. You know, he hasn't complained one thing. He's just been he's been great to have around.
Make his own bed, take care of himself,
yeah,
pick up after himself.
Yeah, he does all those things without even asking. I mean, those are all side parts. We wouldn't even expect him to, but he's just a good kid to have around. Both of us really enjoy having him around the house.
Okay, Josh, finally to the elephant in the room, as Eric calls it. What's your take on the lockout here? Players, you guys this morning were out playing some shirts and skins football here in Brossard, and you're training and you're working out and you're trying the best you can to stay in shape for when and if, you know, we get the call that, you know, talks have heated up to the point that we may get training camps going here, or we're going to play some hockey. What's your take on this now? It seems to the average fan, I think that both sides are dug in pretty firmly here, and everyone I've spoken with, certainly on the players' side of this, say that they've never been better informed, they've never been more unified, and they very much feel a great sense of resolve to get a fair deal done.
Absolutely, and I can only speak from the player side and from my perspective. I can't speak on the owner's behalf, but like you said, we're very informed of what's going on. We understand the situation. We understand where we sit. Something that I've said right from the start is we want to play. The players want to play, and we've been pushing to try to continue to play while we continue to bargain a new CBA. It was the owner's decisions to lock us out, which they didn't have to do. There's no law that says they have to lock us out until we get a deal done. We can continue to play. We should be out there in training camp this morning while we work on getting this deal done. And that's the frustrating part to not only us, but the fans, the employees of the arenas, people that own restaurants, bars near that depend on NHL hockey. They're the ones that are suffering because they're just so set in their ways that they don't want to allow us to play. You know, that's the frustrating part for us because, you know, athletes. We want to get out there and play, but we're not going to concede and give in to them on everything they ask just because they tell us what to do. We have to stand up for what we believe in and stand up for what's right. And I think the biggest thing that we're trying to impose is we want a deal that's fair, a deal that works for both sides. It doesn't have to be a home run hit for the owner's side and the players give up everything in order for this to work. We're trying to say and explain to them that both sides can come out on top of this. It doesn't have to be the players giving up everything in order to get a deal done, and that's not the way it should be. That's not fair business. So they see it a different way. The only thing they want is for us to give massive concessions of our salaries, and until we agree to just giving up everything, it doesn't seem like they want to talk.
Are you optimistic that a deal will finally be struck and we will be playing hockey? Some people are just sort of saying, well, is this going to be the same way as 04-05? Are we going to lose a full season of hockey? What's your feeling?
I think there's going to be a deal. Hockey's grown too much in the past 8 years since the last lockout to not have hockey. And if they're that ignorant to that fact, I'd be very surprised. These guys are very smart businessmen. They know what they're doing in the business side of things. They have to. They wouldn't be where they were if they weren't. And again, I don't think it's all 30 owners that feel this way. This is my opinion, but I think there's a small group of owners, along with Gary Bettman, that want to lock us out and not have hockey. But I think at some point this will turn around because the game is too good, and it would be a detriment to the NHL, to all the fans, if they shut down hockey for an entire year. Like I said, things have gone too well. To grow the industry by $1 billion in 8 years or 7 years or whatever it is huge. And for teams to say that they're not making money with $1 billion of growth, you start to wonder, I mean, what are they doing differently? How are you not making money then with that kind of mass growth in revenues? And so those are things that we're trying to figure out and trying to understand how they're losing money with that kind of revenues coming in.
I'm guessing that when you got into this game as a little kid out in Kelowna, you probably never saw the day that you would be a spokesman for your team and talking about the Quebec Labor Relations Board and talking about whether or not lockouts are legal and so on. Are you enjoying the fact that you were being counted upon to speak on behalf of your teammates as well? I mean, not only do you do that on the ice now, but now you are doing this in the boardroom and doing this in a sense that talks about the legalities of the game and lockouts and so on. How has that been for you to do?
To be honest, I wish I didn't have to. I don't enjoy this. I'd much rather be on the ice doing what I'm supposed to be doing, playing hockey. I don't want to be talking about why we're locked out and different ways we can go about trying to get the deal done. I wish that we could show up and play and do what we were supposed to do. You know, having someone tell us that we can't do our jobs isn't great, but at the same time, I mean, I understand the situation that we're in and acknowledge the fact that you know, there are some guys that are counted on to step up in these situations. And again, I'm still learning about the Quebec Labor Board thing. I mean, that was pretty new to me, and you try to gather as much information you can and try to talk to as many of the players as you can so that everyone's informed. But like I said, it was still fresh to me. But you know what? There's a lot of guys that need to know this information. They need to know, like on the team, they need to be informed of what's going on, where they stand, where their lives are heading. So you try to do as best you can to get as much information and then pass it on.
Finally, I'm sure you are hearing from fans as you see them in the street, as you see them in your daily travels and so on, and they probably all have their own opinion, their own point of view. If you could just say something to the fans to let them know what the players and what the group of Montreal Canadiens that you are a member of, what would you say to the Habs fans who are sitting here waiting, knowing that in all likelihood the start of the season is going to be delayed and we may not be playing for a long time yet?
I'll say that we're sorry that you guys have to go through this with us. You know, like I said, this isn't just affecting the players and not allowing us to do our jobs. There's a lot of other people that are affected by this, and it's sad that they have to suffer because the owners don't want us to play. it's sad that businesses are going to be hurting. You know, locally here in Montreal, they're going to be hurting because games aren't being played at the Bell Center. People are going to lose part of their salaries. They're going to get laid off. You know, that's a sad story to think that because a few owners don't agree to the way things are being done, that a lot of people are going to suffer. And to understand that, you know, we're not out there trying to, as players, we're not trying to get more money. We're not asking for more money, more this, more anything. We're just trying to ask for a fair deal. We're trying to find a deal that suits both sides, a deal that can protect young players coming into the league to make sure that they're protected, their rights are protected for their career, so they can grow and prosper in their short period of time of work in the NHL. And you know, just stay with us, and we're doing everything we can to get hockey back here playing. There's nothing more that we want than to be playing hockey. Trust me on that.
Well, Josh, thank you for this. We hope we see you in BROSSARD down on the sheet of ice that's lying in front of us now, empty, rather than playing, you know, touch football on the football field over here. But thanks for taking the time to do this and share your thoughts, and we look forward to seeing you on the ice soon.
I do. Thanks a lot.